Alright, now it's time to start placing the structures that you filled with wood number 2. Begin by taking a 1/2 wedge and place it in line with the edge of the smooth wall right here, and then just place 3 more against the side of that one like so. Now take some tile blueprints. You don't have to fill these in, just place 3 of them on top of each other and then place a hatch on top of it. Make sure that you place the hatch against the tiles so that there is no gap between the tile and the hatch. Also make sure that you place the hatch in this orientation with the button side facing down. Once you've done that, you can destroy the tile blueprints and then just place 3 more hatches aligned with the first hatch. Make sure that when you place them that they are straight and aligned. If you struggle to get them aligned, you can try placing 3 more tile blueprints under the area that you are struggling to place the hatch, just like with the first hatch, and then place the hatch on top of those blueprints. Now take some smooth wall blueprints, you do not have to fill these in, and place them on top of the hatches. Now place your remaining hatches on top of the smooth wall blueprints with the button side facing up. Now take your 1/1 wedges and place them upside down on top of the inside of the frame, and make sure that they're flush against the hatches. Alright, now it's time to start wiring. You're going to want to start off by taking a wire and placing it between 2 of the buttons on the top hatches. Then just take more wires and basically continue this, making sure that each wire touches the last wire as well as both hatch buttons. Now just do the exact same but on the bottom. Now use your remaining 2 wires to hook the bottom and the top together. End each wire in the middle between the top and the bottom like so. Now take 3 posts and place them like this. and then take 3 tiny floors and place them like this. Now take your 2 skinny smooth walls and place them like this. And finally take your 1/2 wedges and place them like this. And that will complete the building for this garage door. You can do so in increments of 4 studs. You can expand on either side, however, if you want to do so on the side that you hooked the bottom and the top hatches with wires, you'll have to rewire that once you finish. To expand this door, you'll have to get all of the required materials. Keep in mind that these materials are listed for just expanding the door by 4 studs, but if you want to expand it by something like 8 studs, you'll have to get twice the amount of each of the materials, and if you want to expand it by 12 studs, you'll have to get 3 times the amount, etc, etc. So just decide how much you want to expand your garage door, and then get all of the materials listed on screen twice, thrice, or however many increments you want to expand your door by. So you want to start off by moving your wall or whatever you had that made up the original opening, and just move that over 4 studs. Once you do that, you can verify that it is indeed 4 studs by getting out a floor blueprint and placing it flat on the ground like so. If it fits snugly between both the frame and the wall, then it is indeed 4 studs apart. Now you can delete the floor blueprint and move the smooth wall that's part of the frame over 4 studs like so, and then of course the structure that was on top of it as well. Now place a 1/2 wedge like so. Then place a new short smooth wall like so, and then you can of course fix your wall. Now you basically just want to mirror everything that is to the side, so you want to place your hatches just like how you did before. And then place your 1/1 wedge in front. Then wire up your hatches. And then just finish it off. I'm pretty sure you get the point. Once you finish, if you did decide to expand your door by more than just 1 increment, you can just do exactly what you just did over and over for the amount of increments you wanted to expand it by until you run out of your structures. Alright, so hopefully that covered how to expand the garage door. If you have any further questions, you can post them in the comment section down below and I'll be sure to get back to you. Now it's time to choose a way to open and close your garage door. I will be going over 4 of the best basic activation methods, as well as some advanced ones, so just select your favorite method that works best for you. So first we have the button. To activate the door, you just have to press it. You can do this while in your car or just normally walking. Once it is pressed, it will open the garage door, and it has a pre-programmed amount of time it will stay open before it shuts again. So all you have to do is press the button once, pass through, and the garage door will automatically close behind you. Additionally, only people who are whitelisted can press the button, so it is one of the more secure activation methods. It's one of the best activation methods in my opinion because of its simplicity, and I would definitely recommend using this one if you have problems with unwanted people getting into your base, and it's also relatively inexpensive, so if you are a bit short on money, that won't be an issue. The next activation method is the lever. The lever is the most simple device to set up, and it is very simple to use. All you have to do is pull the lever and it will open, and pull it again and it will close. Whenever you flick the lever, the state of the garage door will become the opposite. So if it was closed before, it will become open, and if it was open before, it will now be closed. This, by the way, works regardless of whether the lever on the other side is on or off. The lever activation method works consistently, it's inexpensive, and is very simple to set up. The only drawback is that it does not automatically close behind you, so you will always have to close it manually whenever you open it. But to end it on a good note, the lever activation method is very secure because much like the button, players need whitelist to use it, so no unwanted people will be able to open the door. Next we have the pressure plate activation method. This one is incredibly convenient because all you have to do is drive up, and when your wheels or feet touch the pressure plate, the door will open. The drawback being that unwhitelisted players can use this device to open the door. That's not entirely bad if you don't mind random people walking in, it just depends on what you're using the door for. For example, if you're using this for the entrance of your base and you only want friends coming in, this is not the best activation method for you. On the other hand, if you're just using the door for a garage, random people coming in might not be too big of a deal, and the convenience of it being hands-free, and by that I mean you don't have to move your mouse to a specific spot and press a button, you just have to drive up and it will automatically open. Anyways, the convenience of that may outweigh the lack of security depending on what you're using the door for. Additionally, like the button, the pressure plate will close the door automatically behind you, which does add extra convenience. The pressure plate activation method is great in terms of convenience and reliability, but falls in terms of security. Depending on how you plan to use your garage door, this can definitely be a good pick. And finally, we have the laser. This one by far is the coolest one because it's a laser, I mean, come on. It's pretty much the same as the pressure plate in terms of what it does, but instead of touching the pressure plate, you are tripping the laser. It can be activated by other players, so keep that in mind. Plus, it is the most expensive activation method. It does, however, close behind you and it's hands-free like the pressure plate, so it is convenient and just freaking cool, but there is one big reason why you would want to get this one over others, and that is because it works over any distance within your base. So it is a very good option if you plan to make your garage door wider because, for example, if you have a super wide door, you'll have to drive all the way over to press the button or lever or pressure plate, but with a laser you can trip it and open the door from any point along the laser beam. So while it may be more expensive and less secure, those could be outweighed if you are planning on making your garage door very wide. Again, it all depends on how you are using it. Alright, so those were the main basic activation methods. Now I'd just like to quickly mention some of the alternative methods for more advanced players. Keep in mind that I won't be showing you how to build or implement the following methods, so I'd only recommend the following methods for more advanced players who know how to implement these on their own. So firstly, I'd like to mention the player detector. This basically acts as a motion detector for anything that gets close enough. I will link the tutorial by Electrotech in case you want to implement this into your own garage door. This can be activated by other players just like the pressure plate and the laser, so it's not quite as secure, and I wouldn't recommend it if you decide to expand your garage door to be longer, since you'll have to drive up to it on either side in order to activate the door, which can become a hassle with longer doors. But this design is great in terms of looks because you can't see it from the outside at all, so if aesthetic is your main main goal with this garage door, I would definitely recommend the player detector. The final thing I would like to quickly mention is the keycard and combination lock activation methods. I'll link a tutorial for how to build these in the description down below. These methods are very secure because in order to open up the door, you have to know which wood type to use, and if you go with the combination lock, you also need to know which wood type goes where. They don't automatically close behind you though, and it takes time to get the wood into the correct area, so I'd recommend